Fantasy football week number 6, starter sit. We're going through every game on the schedule this week. You know what? I think there's 2 ways I can look at this. I can look at this as bye weeks are here, less football. That kind of sucks.
Hate it.
Or I can look at it as in, I'm going to get to know some of these teams a little better. I'm probably going to see more football that isn't just red zone at 1 o'clock and especially at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, 4 o'clock, there's only 3 games on. You can watch them all.
Yeah, so we can get smarter. We can get smarter about football. That's how I'm going to look at it.
Positive.
So be sure, we're covering every game here. We're going to cover pretty much every relevant player in fantasy. So if you want to know about some of the guys in your lineup, what we think of them, you're going to find out here. Before we get started, be sure to check out our partners over at Manscaped. The Lawnmower 4.0 for Manscaped. I actually said to Jared that I also have their razor to shave the old face as well. Very good stuff. I've never used, it has damn it, this is gonna be bad. It's not like a regular razor. You have the razor blades that you put in it, exchange them in and out. I've never done that before to my own face. It's a good feeling. And if you execute properly.
It looks clean. You did it today?
Yeah,
you look
sharp.
sharp.
Did it yesterday.
You still look sharp.
Promo code BOX, 20% off. And then free worldwide shipping with Manscaped. If you use promo code BOX, go to manscaped.com, go check them out. Let's get started with Thursday. I think the primetime games aren't too bad. We had the games were good, but some bad teams a couple weeks ago, but last week was great. This week is still, I think, solid.
Yeah.
The Eagles are playing host to the Bucs. I do think, we've said this over and over about the Bucs receivers. We're just trotting them all out there.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. I don't know if Gronk is going to be back. I
think he's already out.
He's already
rolled him out.
Okay, I was just looking yesterday and it said that it was still up in the air. Okay, so no Gronk.
Well, he said the main reason he retired is they didn't give him enough time to recover from these injuries, and he broke ribs.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
punctured lung.
Yeah, it's like, let's give him a little bit of time.
Yeah, we don't need you, Gronk.
No.
We've got OJ Howard, Cam Braid out there. Anything Fournette-wise, I think we're in bye week, so Fournette's probably
somebody you're playing.
Yeah.
Unless you're stacked at running back.
You liked him this week. You had him up in your rankings.
Yeah, I've gone all the way up at 16, I believe. So he's a pretty solid start.
Eagles side of things, we're avoiding the running backs. I know, you spent a 5th, 6th round pick on Sanders. Hopefully you're able to pick up some guys on the waiver because there were some guys you could put into your lineup this week, and I would play all of them over Sanders. No running back has really found success against the Bucs other than
Miles Gaskin through the air.
Yeah.
Miles Gaskin through the air.
Well, you can't even call him a running back at that point,
Yeah.
right?
That's why I even have Gainwell over Sanders this week. He's probably going to be more involved in the receiving game.
Do what he did against the Chiefs where Sanders did nothing and Gainwell just caught 6 passes. Yeah.
Devontae Smith is a great start this week.
Yep.
I think Zach Ertz is a solid start as well.
Dallas Goedert's out. So
I have him inside my top 12 or my top 10 on the week at the tight end position. If you look description below, our blog is in there. So our blog has all of our rankings for week 6. Go check that out.
If you're streaming tight ends, Zach Ertz is probably the best streaming tight end this week.
I argue that there's one other option that's better that you probably could pick up off the wire.
Is he on the Washington football team?
He's on the Washington football team. Yeah.
I picked him up today.
We'll get to that, but his routes run was ridiculous last week, and he's
going up against the worst defense in football too.
It's a really good opportunity for him. That's everything there. Eagles Bucs side on Thursday. Be sure that you put these guys into their positional spots and not the flex. Very basic stuff there, but if you're a fantasy football rookie, maybe you don't know that. Just gives you more flexibility later on in the week. Dolphins Jags. We're back down under. I won't do any more accents.
That's not down under.
That's the UK.
Across the pond.
We're across the pond.
Down under is Australia.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Avery geography.
You gave us an Australian accent there too, so you're just a little off there.
I said I wouldn't do the accents. Ghost Reaper did not like the accents.
That's fine.
Dolphins side of things, I really like Jalen Waddle this week if Tua's back and starting. They have a great connection. Gesicki is someone I kind of moved back this week in my rankings because Tua and him don't really seem to have the same connection. But I do really like Jalen Waddle this week against the Jags.
We don't know for sure yet if Tua's going to play, right? But they did activate him off IR.
Yeah, they activated him off IR.
So
it's a rib injury.
likely.
I would think he's back.
Yeah.
They can't keep rolling Brissett out there.
Been 3 now?
Yeah, it would be
3
3 weeks by Sunday, right? Because Brissett had 2 starts.
Would they activate him to just have him back out?
Because he played he got hurt in the Bills game.
Yeah, so it's been 2 weeks.
Then Raiders, and then whoever they played last week.
Yeah, the Bucs.
Yeah.
So it's been 3 weeks since the injury. A rib injury, I would think he's got to be back.
If Devontae Parker plays, are we starting him?
I would not. I have him outside my top 4.
Devontae Parker or Marvin Jones at this point, if you have to choose between the two.
So I'm going Marvin Jones.
Yeah, Marvin Jones for me for sure.
Jones is still out. Like, he's still out there. We were just looking before we started at the Jags. Use like their rep percentages. And he's still out there. It's Laviska that's taken a hit a bit. Dan Arnold is a pretty good tight end play. Like, if you're desperate, I don't mind it. Like,
I don't even think
the Jags traded for him.
Yeah,
they want
him. They want Dan Arnold. How many targets did he have last week?
8. 6 receptions.
Wow.
He took some routes away from Laviska in the slot. What do we think of either quarterback?
I mean, Trevor Lawrence is I feel like he's just going to be in that borderline quarterback 1 range for 1 QB leagues.
Yeah.
Like, he might be a streamable option, but most people probably already have him rostered.
Yeah, the Bucks torched the Dolphins secondary last week, but the Dolphins are still one of the best pass defenses in the NFL.
Xavier Howard's still really good.
That's really everything there. Robinson is, of course, a start. I guess let's talk about Gaskin. Bye weeks, I think you can play him, but I am just I don't know if he's like the running back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Malcolm Brown's still so involved there. Through the air, clearly he dominated the Bucs, but will that continue this week? I don't think so. Sure, he's going to get a few receptions, but not to the same degree.
Yeah,
he just got there. So he's kind of like in that iffy tier of if you need to start him, you do. But like, I would start a lot of guys over him. Like, I would go Damian Williams over Miles.
Right. So he was way up. Like, he had 71% of the rushing attempts. Malcolm Brown had 0 last week. He's up to 69% of routes run, which is up from the last 2 weeks. So it is trending in the right direction. Good target share there last week too.
That could be because the offense.
If you look at that snap share, that's wild.
With percent,
23% 2 weeks ago for Gaskin to 69, and then Brown from 67.
That's why everyone didn't start him. Like, it made sense not to start him week 5.
Why would I expect to see this?
I actually started him in our dynasty league, but that's
maybe
different.
Maybe Brian Flores.
Maybe
Brian Flores is like, I just don't care about fantasy players.
Yeah, clearly,
for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So you could play Gaskin this week. Like, would you play him over? You asked it, right? Darrell Williams.
Yeah.
Like Darrell Williams, Damian Williams, Devontae Booker.
I'd go Damian Williams over Gaskin, but Gaskin over Darrell.
Okay. And what about Booker?
Booker over all of them.
All of them. Yeah. If Daniel Jones is playing, it makes me feel better about Booker. If he's not, against the Rams,
stack that box and just
exactly
ruin his day.
Exactly. He's already not an efficient runner. Texans Colts. Colts are at home here, coming off a great offensive game. Brutal result for the Colts. Michael Pittman is a weekly start for you. Of course,
absolutely.
Jonathan Taylor.
No one else though.
Don't want to. Look, I don't like Carson Wentz, so I'm not doing it. I know it's the Texans.
Maybe in DFS this week, though.
Yeah, maybe he's a DFS play.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it on the Colts side. Like, tight end wise, Cox is just a touchdown dependent guy. Texans, Brandon Cooks, of course.
Man, that was so disappointing last week that
Davis Mills 300 yards passing, and
Cooks had 23.
30 yards.
Chris Conley and some guy off the fucking street.
Yeah.
Can't remember his name now.
I don't know, but that guy had 100 yards.
Yeah, I know. Todd. That's it from the Texans. Running backs wise, there's nothing really to go with there. Chargers Ravens. Really I would say game of the week. This is a game of the week.
Just fantasy galore here.
Running backs in Baltimore, we talked about it.
It's hard to start any of them.
Yeah, this is a great matchup. We talked about it in the running back rankings video. So Latavius Murray, you could play, but it's we're not expecting big things to come from Latavius Murray. Wide receiver wise, Marquise Brown, I have him I think at my wide receiver 20 on the week. I'm done doubting this guy. I'm just going to respect him.
He's every week.
Yeah,
every week starter.
Play. Mark Andrews, of course. Yep. Chargers side of things.
Same guys
we've got our Mike,
we've
got our Keenan, we've got our Herbert, our Eckler.
Jared Cooks is a borderline play for tight end, I think.
Yeah, I feel like if you picked him up, or if you drafted him or picked him up at the beginning of the year, you probably are the guy or someone that's just kind of playing him and being like, all right, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I could take whatever comes of this, 4 points, 12 points, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay, Chiefs football team. I want to start with the football team because I think that Ricky Seals-Jones is a really good play this week. I'm just going to pull up some of his utilization.
He's kind of just taking everything that Logan Thomas had.
Yeah, do we know what the deal is with Diami Brown?
He doesn't seem to be being that involved at all. Like it's DeAndre Carter that's getting more involved.
Yeah.
And they look very similar.
Yeah.
Number 1 and number 2, and it's just like, oh.
Every time you see it, you're like,
you just don't know.
Brown.
Yeah, that's very disappointing every time.
Yeah, I don't think Brown played.
Yeah, he didn't play.
Yeah, he didn't play. I don't know. Was he?
Didn't get any snaps.
No.
I'm
Samuel barely played
because
too.
I'm let's talk about
Your boy.
Terry McLaurin, or not Terry McLaurin.
Curtis Samuel.
No.
Gibson.
Guys, stop saying names to me that I'm wrong about. Taylor Heineke, like against the Chiefs here.
Oh, that's a start. Well, I guess actually it depends. I always say start just because I'm in only Superflex leagues.
Yeah, you didn't
so,
need
Yeah.
So
One
I always
QB
immediately go to
starting Taylor
Superflex.
Heineke, I feel
One
like,
QB,
yeah,
no,
that's
don't start
tough.
Taylor
I wouldn't
Heineke.
start him.
Why not?
The Chiefs can't stop anyone. Like they're horrible.
Who are 12 guys you wouldn't start over him?
Like I haven't seen enough from Ryan Tannehill to play him against the Bills. I play him over Trevor Lawrence.
You'd go him over. I'd probably go Lawrence over him.
I'd rather start Taylor Heineke than Tannehill this week.
What about Trevor Lawrence?
No,
I'd rather start Heineke over Lawrence. I mean, like we just
That's
said, the Dolphins were a tough passing defense. Like, if I could go with another, like, am I starting Sam Darnold or would I start Taylor Heineke?
Who's Sam Darnold got this week?
The Vikings.
I'd go Darnold.
I'd probably go Heineke because this is just a really good matchup.
Yeah, it
and
is.
the Panthers are starting to come back down to earth here. So, I mean, that's another one where I'd start him. Like, I'd start Heineke over Justin Fields.
Yeah.
There's just, in one quarterback, there's just so few guys that actually are like valuable.
You're not going to
plays.
start Fields.
So,
in
okay,
any QB
here, I'm
leagues.
going to count them then. Let's just go through them. So, I'd start Hurts, Brady, Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow. I'll get to Aaron Rodgers. I'll get to him.
I'm throwing them in there.
Matt Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, Josh Allen.
That's 11, and then there's
And
Sam Darnold.
The competition
Trevor Lawrence.
is Trevor Lawrence, Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield.
So if you're the one,
Ryan Tannehill.
So if you're the one team in the league that doesn't have any of those 11 quarterbacks,
I mean, those are like really good quarterbacks that were definitely drafted. There's people who
for sure.
who
But
had
most
Ryan
people didn't
Tannehill,
draft two of those guys.
or they have Trey Lance. Like I'm someone who has drafted Ryan Tannehill. We talked about taking Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah,
so
for
if
sure.
I have him, then I think I'd pick up Taylor Heineke off the wire and play him. Who else is on bye this week? The Saints are on bye. The
49ers.
Falcons are on bye. The Jets are on bye. The 49ers are on bye. Are those the four teams on bye? So there's definitely not like. Would you start Derek Carr?
No.
Who do the Raiders have?
The Broncos.
No.
I think Heineke's a great.
Yeah.
Like I think he's a good play this week.
He's pretty good.
What's wrong?
No, just you fucking guys, man.
Chiefs. I think Mecole Hardman is. I think I have him as the 40th wide receiver on the week. I probably can find some other guys to play over him.
He's still tough to start.
Yeah. Anything else really? Like Antonio Gibson, of course. Terry McLaurin, of course. I do like Ricky Seals-Jones this week, like I said. All your Chiefs guys. That's pretty much it there. Darryl, right.
I think even he's hard to start because the football team rush defense is still very solid despite their passing defense being pretty shit.
This is more of a game script play of Williams than I know it's not the best defense to go up against running wise, but this could be a really the Chiefs are due for a shit kicking of somebody.
Yeah, it is.
And you like to think he'd get some.
Feels like a get right spot.
Yeah. Okay, Bengals Lions. What do I have to say? So, Amon-Ra St. Brown has reached into the top 40 of my rankings.
Right
I mean, he has to be talked about. Like,
That's
Quintez
fair.
Cephas is out. TJ Hawkinson seems to be like the main point of emphasis for every defense is eliminating him as a pass catcher because he's been a serious disappointment the last 3 weeks. The Bengals defense is okay in the secondary. Like, I just kind of think of Jesse Bates, and that's really it.
Did he get hurt again? Or is he back?
I think
I know
was
he
bad.
played, but I thought he got hurt.
Oh, I'm not sure.
He rocked Devontae last week one time. I think he's fine.
So I I think you can play Amon St. Brown if you're in a bad spot with bye weeks, like if you had Debo or if you had Marquez Callaway or all these guys on bye.
If you have a lot of guys
Davis.
on bye, I don't mind him.
Because
he's getting the highest target share, so.
Yeah, because he's probably going to get 10, 12, 13 points kind of deal. So
yeah, you could do that.
Bengals side of things, I'm still okay with people trotting out Tyler Boyd each week. This is a really good passing offense under Joe Burrow. Your T. Higgins or Jamar Chase were good there.
How did Joe Mixon do last week, by the way? I don't think
he did much.
Yeah,
he was like much. A non-factor.
Yeah. Pretty much how we saw it, right? With Higgins coming back, it's kind of over for him there.
I mean, if Joe Mixon plays, start him. But if he doesn't, Chris Evans is a pretty solid play because P. Ryan likely doesn't play.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got to check on that, but it's Wednesday, so we're always not sure of what this looks like come Saturday.
I thought I saw that he was out already.
Okay. Because he is on the COVID list.
I could be wrong, but I thought
he is on the COVID list. So if Mixon is out,
I doubt that's the case though, because he already played last week. So unless he had a downgrade,
exactly,
I doubt it.
DeAndre Swift, we're playing. I feel like the Lions just stay competitive again this week is the other thing.
Keep it close.
I bet against them last week.
This is where I think the shit kicking happens.
Yeah. That was That was an emotional all-in loss last week.
Yeah. Dan Campbell crying. You're going to say they're going to get their shit kicked. I feel like they're going to come out hot this week.
They're going to get a win for Dan.
Boys, I don't know about that.
It is at home. It's a good spot for the Lions, I think.
Fuck. How many fellas?
Okay, let's go to Vikings Panthers. I mentioned these two QBs. I don't really love them because I think Darnold's I still like Darnold as a player, and I think they'll get things back on track. But fantasy wise,
you call him Cam
Darnold.
Cam Darnold, nice. DJ Moore, we're good there. I don't think we're playing Robbie Anderson, Terrace Marshall, kind of out on that. I think CMC is going to be back this week. Back this week.
No really borderline plays for the Panthers.
Yeah, nothing really there. Tommy Tremble
honestly.
and Ian Thomas are the two tight ends there. Nothing to speak on with them. KJ Osborne's kind of turned back into not really anything.
I think he's kind of losing the role to D.D. Westbrook. I've seen D.D. Westbrook out there.
I haven't heard D.D. Westbrook in so long back when he was doing it with the Jags. I haven't heard that name in so long.
He had that one good year with the Jags.
Yeah.
What about Conklin?
He hasn't done much the last few weeks.
Yeah. He's again a very desperate play. He's
I'm not starting
touchdown dependent tight end.
I think I have him at 12 on the week. I think people who have him probably are in a spot where they feel like they need to play him. That's kind of my thought on it. Yeah, I don't think Osborne came down much. No, he's still at 71%.
Oh, wow. There's not T.D. Westbrook's not even listed there.
Yeah,
I guess just the few times I actually watched the Vikings this week, D.D. Westbrook was the guy getting a target for some reason.
Yeah, we're waiting on. I think Cook will still be good to go.
Yeah, he should be good.
So we're good there. Rams, Giants. Let's start with Kadarius Toney because I think Kadarius Toney is a good play. He's a tackle breaking machine. Looked really good last week, and I don't think the Giants are going to be getting any receivers back this week. I think
Shepard's not back.
If Shepard,
Galladay
and Slayton are out, then
Shepard I think for sure is out. I could double check, but
Evan Ingram.
No,
he looked almost back last week.
I liked him as a waiver pickup. I guess he's I would play him over Conklin, but
I'd agree with that.
He's not as involved as I thought he would be with all these injuries.
I don't want to do what we just did with the quarterbacks, but when I was doing my tight end rankings, it's a fucking barren wasteland of hot garbage.
Yeah, it was.
Daniel Jones news. Have we heard anything about him?
I don't think so. He's probably still in the protocol.
Concussion thing makes me feel like he's going to be back. Who was it that
was
had
a brutal? If he's back, I don't see it.
Teddy had come back, no problem. Someone else
but
had
that video, Teddy didn't have that whole
Teddy
video
wasn't walking around,
he didn't stumble.
looking like he's drunk.
Teddy was on the ground. That was why he stayed on the ground.
Yeah.
Looked like fucking Tyson Fury.
It was an interesting look from DJ. Rams side of things, I'm still just trotting out the usual guys: Henderson, Higbee, Woods, Kupp, with Van Jefferson being a desperate play. It's pretty much everything there in Giants.
Yeah. Devontae Booker, we didn't really touch on him, but
you mentioned it at the top.
Yeah,
he's a decent play. I like him as a low end RB2.
If you were a team that had Saquon, you might as well just
exactly
take a shot at him.
Yeah. Packers Bears. Bears are at home in this game. Established the run. Quite a job establishing the run last week. I'll be interested to see how the game plan changes. We're still not seeing Justin Fields like on any type of designed run. It's just if he's picking up any rushing yards, it's scrambling, it's getting out of the pocket. So I wish the Bears could incorporate a little bit more RPO. But yeah, they're establishing the run a ton. Like Damian Williams is a fine play. I know
Even
people.
Khalil Herbert's not a bad play.
Yeah. If they play the same way they did last week, the problem is that the Packers are a much better team than the Raiders. So they might have the chance to run the ball 40 times. Allen Robinson, I think you're still playing him. I know it's been
so
tough.
hard to. I think you bench. Like I'm benching him anywhere I possibly
Allen Robinson
can.
against the Packers secondary this week.
Anywhere I possibly can. I've been like he just still hasn't done anything.
So is there any of the wide receivers on the Cardinals someone you would that aren't DeAndre Hopkins? Someone you would
we're
play
already
over?
moving on off of this game.
No,
No,
just ask.
Okay.
I'm asking you if there's anyone not named DeAndre Hopkins that you would play over.
Well, we know one.
Allen Robinson.
Rondell Moore.
Yeah.
That's just fucking stupid. Okay.
I only said that to make you mad.
Is there any
But for real though, probably not. Just like we saw a step down from AJ Green. He only had one catch last week. So none of them are like confident plays, but neither is Allen Robinson.
would you start Tim Patrick over Allen Robinson?
See, that's honestly close for me. But I'd probably go Allen Robinson just for the fact that if I don't start Robinson and he goes off, I'd be a lot more mad than if I don't start Tim Patrick and he goes off.
Right. Would you start Cole Beasley?
Cole Beasley's done nothing. Yeah. I'd start Emmanuel Sanders over him.
Okay. James Washington, if someone picked him up with
No.
a Juju injury.
Allen Robinson.
Okay. I can go through a lot. Laviska and Marvin Jones.
Marvin Jones, yes. Liska, no.
Okay. I think in that state, I do think a lot of people will be playing him this week. I think he can still play him. I like him in the matchup.
I mean, he's had like good matchups. It seems like every week, and he still doesn't do anything. That's the only that's the biggest concern I have of him.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's-
Darnell
it's
Mooney,
just
I wouldn't.
tough.
I probably wouldn't play. I don't know. Would you play
Fields
Mooney
likes
over
Mooney.
Allen Robinson?
No.
Mooney seems to be more involved than Robinson.
Yeah,
but
Mooney. Fields likes Mooney.
Yeah.
He throws. He had that 90-yard first half.
It feels kind of hard to start anybody in this Bears offense.
But this is the week. I feel like out of all people, you'd be bullish on Bears wideouts this week.
I mean, the Packers
secondary.
defense
though.
kind of does suck, but still.
Packers side of things, I'm only starting Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to be found right now.
The only guys
Not even
yeah,
Bob Tunyon
are
is.
involved.
I'm done. I'm going to be
Bob
done
Tunyon.
telling you guys that you could still play Bob Tunyon.
He's gritty, but
He's gonna be back this
one
week.
one
Yeah,
reception.
So I'm going to be back. I'll play him
That
at
means
OwnersBox.
start him now.
Yeah,
He's
I'll
gonna
be
go.
playing
He's gonna go
OwnersBox.
2 for 8 with 1 touchdown.
Yeah. Cardinals Browns. Browns back at home after a shootout with the Chargers. I mean, this is another matchup that's got points written all over it after last week. That'll probably go well under. The Cards didn't score much last week. Murray's dealing with a shoulder injury, and last time he dealt with injury at the end of last season, the Cardinals looked like complete dog shit.
Yeah.
So I'm a little worried about that. So I would only be playing Hopkins and Chase Edmonds and Kyler Murray, of course, on the Cardinals side. I do have an icky start sit to ask you guys that I have to make in one league that includes a Cardinals wide receiver.
Christian Kirk or AJ Green.
It's an AJ Green or someone else, but we'll get to that later. Browns. Austin Hooper ran more routes and was on the field more than David Njoku. Njoku happened to just catch a completely broken down pass that broke for a 78-yard touchdown. So
Don't start Njoku.
yeah, that's what I think. But there's going to be someone here in this Browns passing offense that has value. Like Donovan
Odell?
Peoples-Jones had a good game.
Shard Higgins was pretty
Are we
good.
starting
Shard
Odell?
Higgins was all right. Hell no, I cut him.
Cut him.
I cut him. We said it on Tuesday.
We put it on TikTok too, and people were like, "Oh, that's dumb." I was like,
some
I don't
people
think
were
it's
agreeing
that.
though in the comments of the TikTok. Some people
it's
were on it.
42
I'm not cutting
points
him.
and
I'm trying to get rid of him, and not start him. But I don't know if I'm cutting him.
Yeah. Well, I get that's.
I think I'm only starting the running backs.
Yeah. It's tough
Chubb-
because
Big
there's
Chubb
not
and
enough.
Yeah.
So Baker Mayfield wouldn't be a play really for you, even against the Cards.
Yeah. It's hard to start him.
Yeah.
All right, Cowboys Patriots.
Did we talk about the Cardinals backfield?
Yeah, I said Chase Edmonds. Do you want anything? Do you have anything to say about James Conner?
he just keeps scoring touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like what is he
Every
now?
week.
5 in
It's
the
the
past
third
3
week in
games.
a row we've said this.
It's
Yeah.
hard to play him, but I know I did play him the other week.
If you really need a running back, like I wouldn't mind starting James Conner, but you're just relying on a touchdown. So it's like it's never something you're like, oh yes, it's a good start.
Are you starting James Conner over the guys picked up on the wire like Booker, Williams, and Williams?
No.
Okay. So he's not that
He's
that
not
good
a
of
great
play.
start. No.
Cowboys Patriots. Jacoby Myers is, I think, a solid, good start here. I know Trevon Diggs has been ridiculous.
He's in the slot though.
Jacoby Myers is posed for a big week, I think.
Yeah, I saw a
If you look at
stat.
the top receivers against the Cowboys.
I saw a stat that said Jacoby Myers has, or not Jacoby Myers, that it says Trevon Diggs 6 catches, Brandon Ayuk 7 catches.
You hate to see it.
Tough scene. That's so tough.
You hate to see it.
Hunter Henry, finally, like the routes and the snap percentage meets targets and fantasy points last week. So I think he's a good play because Jonnu had, I think he ran 6 routes last week. Like it was Hunter Henry's show, and Drew dropped a good note for us yesterday saying that Hunter Henry and Mac Jones live together. So
Big.
No.
Big
Is that
Drew
true? There's some untruth.
Drew said they live together, but they don't actually live together. They just live in the same building.
But that's good.
All right.
It's not living together.
All right,
live in the
they
same
still
building.
hang out. They probably get together for dinner. Yeah, get together for dinner sometimes.
But they don't live together.
But that's
It's
close.
just-
I mean,
Right, but
They probably see
who would
each
want to
other in
live together?
passing.
That's
when
like
they're making-
saying you're in the same dorm room as like your college friends, saying you live together when you're just in different rooms.
Right.
You don't live together.
Do they
You
eat
just live in
breakfast
the same-
together? That's the big question.
And they're both multi-millionaires. Why would they live together, right?
Yes, exactly.
Fair. But I do like Hunter. I do think Hunter Henry's a good play. Like I think
I don't
he was
mind him.
9th or 10th in my tight end rankings. Nothing else really from the Patriots side. Like Aguilar and Bourne will chip in
What about
sometimes.
running back? Are we starting Damian Harris?
Yeah. I'm playing Damian Harris. Like I kind of have to in some leagues. I'm really badly beat up at running back. So I think Harris is going to play, and you can start him.
I'm trying to avoid it just because I'm worried about the injury and the fumble. I think now he has had 2 fumbles.
Yeah.
They said
Bill,
Rhamondre's gonna
Bill,
get
you know
the
Bill
ball.
doesn't put up with the fumbles.
I know, but I
for
just
sure.
don't think that he's willing
We also
to go to
said that
those
like
other
week
guys.
1, didn't he? Or
Yeah, this
week-
is another one now. Add another one on top of it.
Another one.
I just don't think he's willing to go to these other guys. Like Ramondre Stevenson he's a big dog who just, I don't.
They said they're going to try and get him more touches this week.
Yeah,
Let's see if it's true.
Yeah. He hasn't also done much recently. Like I think I looked at the
Harris?
past 3 weeks. He hasn't scored over 10 fantasy points in any of them.
You're talking Harris?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Harris.
he hasn't been great. No. Okay, Cowboys side of things, Dalton Schultz is now just a weekly start.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see the dynamic once Gallup's back. I do think Schultz will, of course, still be involved because it seems like he's a guy that Dak Prescott really likes to look to. And it just hurts CD and Amari Cooper. They just keep kind of sliding down my wide receiver rankings every week, which kind of sucks. But they're still, of course, good options.
Yeah, the Cowboys just
good
run the
plays.
ball way more than we thought after week 1.
Zeke, where do you have Zeke in your RB rankings this week?
I think he was 8 or 7, somewhere around there.
Yeah. Him and Pollard just
Yeah. They're
it's
getting
just
a lot of volume.
Great dynamic for the team. They're
Who was it? Zach Martin
look
came
great.
back.
Yeah, with Martin
That
back.
line
I saw
looks
something.
crazy
Zeke has
good.
his most yards per carry and yards after contact ever in his career through 5 games.
Wow.
Danny the Ladster.
Yeah. Not
That-
washed.
That was his
not
yeah,
washed.
no. We were trashing him that week 1 game too. Remember that? Oh my
that
god,
was great.
That was hilarious.
Raiders Broncos, like we said, Teddy's back. Teddy's back didn't look great last week, but
Still concussed.
probably still not seeing
Getting
the
his
field
feet
well.
under him. Yeah.
But the Raiders are a mess.
I do really like Cortland Sutton this week, and I do like Noah Fant. I like the Broncos pass catchers in this game. I just kind of like the Broncos just in general. All around.
You're
I do kind of
starting
like
off.
Javonte Williams.
I've been spending the last couple of days trying to find a slant on this Raiders game to gamble on. Like, are they going to play hard now that they have the racists out of the building, or are they just going to be
a mess?
Yeah,
They're gonna fold
I think
it.
they're going to play hard. I'm not going to lie, but this slant needs another like 24 hours of my hard work to find out what I really want to take.
What side do you want to take
Yeah.
on it? So Josh Jacobs, where does he fall in the? Like, is he firmly ahead of all these wire guys and Damian Harris?
I don't think so. Like, I think he's ahead of Damian Harris, but like I would honestly start Devontae Booker over him.
That didn't sound very confident.
You're
the way
really
you delivered
concerning
that.
me with this Devontae Booker.
Yeah.
I'm not even that high on him. Like I'm just low on all these other guys.
I know, but Josh Jacobs is like, we know Josh Jacobs, you say that he's touchdown dependent, right? Like to have a big week, but he does still get like a significant amount of touches.
Yeah,
the passing offense is kind of taking a step back. I do think that
the Broncos have a good defense though.
Yes, yeah, of course, yes. But Jacobs is, I think, for a lot of people, I have it from some of the start-sit questions from the Discord and whatnot, he's definitely a guy that you're considering your flex. So you could find some wide receivers that you like better, but I don't think I think I'd start him over all the waiver wire guys.
That's fair.
And James Conner and whatnot, because he is still just a good volume guy. Waller, we're trotting out there. I'm just trying not to play the Ruggs. Yeah, play Ruggs and Renfro. It's a tough
Renfro's been
matchup.
just every week consistent. Like he's going to get you. He's had like 7 or 8 catches multiple games this year.
Yeah,
touchdowns too. So I mean that will do it for you right there.
I don't mind Ruggs as a play just because like they keep throwing the ball deep to him, and he's got that opportunity to just get a massive touchdown.
Every single time I watch a Raiders game, there's always that deep post, like that crossing route, like 50 yards down the field that Derek Carr, obviously being Derek Carr, doesn't always hit, but he's always running it. So one of those, and that turns into a touchdown. That's exactly right there, right? So
Hunter Renfro's been linked to some pretty controversial people, eh? Him and Deshaun, and now him and John Gruden. Pretty interesting. The questions that people are asking.
People have been asking.
You're putting the hard hat on and asking the tough questions.
Yeah, exactly.
That's you.
What was Ruggs is up to 87% route participation. Didn't do anything really last week.
Yeah, he didn't get
what was his line?
Only 9% target of the
Do you have
target.
the line in front of you?
No,
I think it was 3 for 53 or something like that.
So nothing crazy.
Yeah. Renfro though,
You're still starting him though.
Renfro's up. Like you mentioned, sizable target share. He's up to 22% target per routes run.
Nuts.
20% target share. The last 2 weeks he's been over 20%. So that's definitely
Full
interesting.
PPR maybe lean Renfro, half Ruggs. Just because, like, look at that average depth of target. It's like 6.1 for Renfro versus 15 for Ruggs.
Doesn't Ruggs lead the league in average depth of target?
I'm not sure after this week, but I know he did after.
Him and Edwards are both up there. Yeah, that's for sure. I mentioned the Broncos side already, so let's get to
Tim Patrick. Did we say?
Yeah, I do want to I'm okay with playing Tim Patrick.
Yeah,
like I said, there's bye weeks and whatnot that people might be in a tough spot and want to play him. He's just a consistent guy too.
This Sunday night game sucks.
Yeah, it got significantly
with Russ injury.
I looked ahead before the Thursday nighter of what this game was. I'm like, this is kind of a shitty game. And then Russ went down, and I'm like, okay, this is even shittier.
Yeah.
Seahawks and Steelers Sunday night. Steelers are at home in this game.
You would think it's like a good game too, like on paper. Like at the beginning of the year, you see this game, like this is gonna be a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who do we think with Geno in at QB is the better is going to benefit? I shouldn't say
DK.
benefit, but is going to be a better wide receiver. Like, is it Lockett or DK?
Lockett gets hurt by this, I think, significantly.
I think I don't know. It's hard to say.
Here's the thought: is they would need to change the way that, like the DK or the routes that he runs or the type of way he plays, because he is more of the deep ball guy, and Lockett's more of the short yardage. We haven't really seen that.
That's not even
lately.
really like the case. Like
that's what I was going to say. We haven't seen it lately because Lockett was getting those deep targets last week, but that's typically how it goes. But you're definitely right. It has looked a little bit different the last couple weeks. So if it does stay that Lockett's getting the deep looks and Metcalf's kind of like the 10 yards deal, then yeah, it's Metcalf. But again, Lockett's got a lot of speed. I mean, they're both very fast, but Lockett's more of a tackle breaker, speed guy, and Metcalf typically is more of the deep ball guy. So you would think it's Lockett, but I do agree. I think it is Metcalf, just with his size and his ability can be a more reliable, like catching traffic type guy for Geno, which he probably needs.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think you kind of have to start both these guys. Like, it's hard to bench either of them with how much draft capital you used on them.
Yeah.
You're not benching either of those guys.
No chance
in any world.
Like, would you go Jacoby Myers or Tyler Lockett?
Tyler Lockett.
You go Lockett still?
Yeah, I'd still go Lockett. I don't think I have it by much, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think they're
Jacoby's
gonna
have a huge week this week, I think.
Well, it's the same thought process as sitting. Oh fuck, who did we say? You spent too much draft capital on. Jacoby Myers is one of your last picks.
Allen Robinson?
Yeah.
Yes, Allen Robinson was the one you were talking about. It's the same thing for me. Lockett, too much draft capital.
Yeah.
Shows he can do it.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think it's Najee Harris week.
I love Deontay Johnson this week. I think I have my wide receiver 6 on the week.
Yeah.
I think that the Steelers will be able to throw the ball really well.
It's also nice for Chase Claypool. The weather starts to get a little bit worse, a little colder. Chase Claypool starts to play. Right?
Good. Maybe we're going to see another one of those Canadian 5-touchdown games.
He's used to it. There you go.
I would absolutely hate to see that. I wouldn't.
Is the game in Pittsburgh or is it in
Pittsburgh?
Yeah, it's in Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's
Chase
Claypool game, Ave.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. We need it. Well, it was kind of
I need to go get
game.
Deontay Johnson. I need to go get him. I need to go trade for him.
Right. I only got one share of him.
I see,
no juju. It's wide open.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't cheer for injuries, but I think we get a debilitating Big Ben injury on Sunday Night Football this week. Like possibly career ending. I hate to say it, but it feels like a good spot.
Dwayne Haskins, Geno Smith game.
Yeah,
that's the game everybody asked for.
I mean, if it happens, we're gonna have to clip this up, but for Ben's sake, I hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
He used to get like another minor injury every week.
Whenever anyone gets, he just says he has it.
Yeah, that's just how it goes. Yeah,
that's so funny. Anyways,
I think Chris Carson is going to be back.
Yeah.
So you can play him. If it was Alex Collins, yeah, you can play Alex Collins, but I would play Alex Collins.
Not a great spot.
Yeah, but I would still play Alex Collins pretty much over all those guys, just because Pete Carroll will be establishing the run.
Yeah.
Fucking hard.
Yeah. Nothing else there from Steelers side. Najee Harris, you said, of course, a play.
Yeah.
You're starting. Bills Titans on Monday night. Titans are at home in this game. I think the Titans get really frisky in this one.
Think so?
I think the script might be flipping in this game on how good the Bills defense has been, just with this being a home game for the Titans.
Is Julio back though?
Yeah,
that's
is Julio back? That'd be huge for them.
Did the Titans beat the Bills in that Tuesday night game last year? It was Derrick Henry's stiff arm on Josh Norman. I forget who won that game, but
that was the year. That was the game where AJ Brown had his breakout for that year.
Really, it was last year for sure because they played on Tuesday because of COVID.
Yeah, was that the 90 or?
I doubt the Titans won that game because it was their COVID issues that stalled it. Fair. I can't remember though.
That's one of those stupid things that we ask when we don't know the answer.
Yeah, the answer to
it happens once in episode on everything we do.
So yeah, AJ Brown, I do have him pretty far down in my wide receiver rankings just because I have this thought like in the back of my head that maybe this happens, but I do have to. Reality is the Bills defense has been really good, and the Titans have not really thrown the ball that well. I want to know, because we're like Derrick Henry's getting so many rushing attempts, I want to look back to last year in games that Henry had like whatever the number might be, like if it's 28 or more, 30 or more rushing attempts, like what AJ Brown did in those games, because this is not what Derrick Henry was doing like all season long.
Yeah,
was getting
usually
this volume.
it takes a while for him to get it going, and then at the end of the year, that's when he's finally getting those 25, 30 carry games.
Yeah,
he's been doing it right off the start of the year.
So if Julio's back, like I am gonna play him, just because the Titans are at home here. I do think that Julio's like a guy that Tannehill still looks to. Like he still had some volume when he was out there, so I will play him. The Bills side, you mentioned Emmanuel Sanders.
I think he's a great start this week.
Dawson Knox is just an obvious we're going to plug and play because Beasley's route percentage is way down, so I think that's a really good thing for Knox, that they're clearly making room for him in the offense.
Bills running backs.
Every week.
Sign me out. Like, I don't want it.
I don't want it either.
Control-Alt-Delete that.
But with Sanders,
people watching are going to say Zach Moss, he's looked good. He's getting like the 2-minute drill. He's getting the. It seems like he's getting the short down and distance obvious running situations, but I don't buy it because it's not consistent. Like we're forgetting that he was inactive, a healthy scratch.
Yeah.
And then there has been games when Singletary's been the guy, and they've swapped. I've said it so many times now, but that's just. I know it's Zach Moss has looked good, so I think people are wondering why we think that.
Yeah. But going back to Sanders, I think he's firmly established himself as the wide receiver too.
Yes.
I wanted to be Gabe Davis at the start of the year, but he's better football.
Early in the year, we weren't sure after Diggs, like who's the guy. I think Sanders is clearly the guy there, so he's a guy who I'm pretty much going to be starting every week as long as this continues.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to some start-sit questions before we wrap up. Again, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, comment down below with some start-sit questions. We're happy to answer them. And then join the Discord because we are answering any of your start-sit questions in there as well. And we're going to answer them on the show. So first one here is Chris Carson or Damian Williams. Carson against the Steelers, Damian Williams going against the Packers.
I'm taking Damian Williams too.
Yeah.
I'm going to start Chris Carson because I think Khalil Herbert looked good. And if they're splitting carries in a game that they're not winning, then that's going to hurt Damian Williams' finish.
He had two great
touchdown dependent, but he's been getting touchdowns. So
yeah, they do run. They are going to run the ball. I'm just more along the lines of if they're not successful, then we're looking at like maybe 60 yards on 15 carries, and he doesn't do anything for your fantasy team. Where if Carson's playing in a game that should be competitive, and they'll probably
be running the ball
live
more
through
too,
the run.
yeah.
So they could also split carries if Carson plays. Carson and
because of the health
Collins
now.
Not being 100%.
I get what you're saying there, but I think that if Carson, because this injury is something that's just going to linger for forever, I think if they're playing him, they're like, you're our guy. We're playing.
They're not going to put like 1 foot forward.
And then because otherwise, just play Collins and let this guy sit.
Yeah.
Tyler Lockett or Josh Jacobs? I think this is a really good question on that Jacobs side of things, where it's like how good do I think Josh Jacobs is compared to some wide receiver options?
I'll take Tyler Lockett.
I'm taking Lockett.
Yeah, I'm going to go Lockett too.
Same thing on Jacobs. Jacobs or Jacoby Myers?
Jacoby Myers by a mile for me. I'm so high on Jacoby Myers this week.
Going to take his over in receptions?
Yeah, 100%. He's going off. Go look at like the wide receiver ones for each of the teams against the Cowboys had put up like 100+ yards every week. I'm pretty sure. You might want to fact check that. But
yeah, I think I need to because we're forgetting about Trevon Diggs.
Yeah, Mike Evans.
Mike Evans didn't have a week.
I'll find the tweet. I saw it on Twitter. I don't know.
But I don't think Trevon Diggs is going to shadow cover Jacoby Myers because he's in the slot.
I don't think he needs to shadow coverage anyone.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jacoby Myers better than Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah. Jacoby Myers has 0 touchdowns in 17 or how many?
He got 1 yard away from scoring one this past weekend.
I gotta find this tweet.
A super team question here: Mike Williams, Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, Justin Jefferson start 2.
Williams and Jefferson.
Yeah.
Godwin, and that's purely because we can't. We
can't leave those guys out.
Yeah,
and we just don't know which one's going to be for the Bucs, right?
Yeah,
it's going to be one.
Burned, you'd rather just start the 2 guys that you've seen consistency from.
Jefferson's like the wide receiver 2 or something on the year. Like he's been having a great season.
I honestly would almost like Brown because it seems like with Gronk out, Brown is really like really established in terms of volume and target share, whereas in Godwin and Evans seem to be the ones that kind of trade like usage and red zone targets kind of deal.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because there was the stretch of a few games that Brown wasn't really involved much.
Yeah.
This one is a personal one for me. Ricky Seals-Jones or Jared Cook this week?
Ricky.
Yeah.
I go Ricky for sure.
Okay. I was thinking the same thing.
Ricky Seals-Jones. Sorry, I was trying to find this tweet. Tuned out for that one.
AJ Green or Van Jefferson. This is my horrible decision I'm making. I'm probably going to scour the wire for someone I think has more volume.
Who do the Rams play this weekend?
Giants.
I'll go Van Jefferson.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to go Van too.
Yeah,
he just has that
New York.
more of a big playability.
Yeah. That's everything there on the start sit questions.
What about the questions I had?
Which ones?
You have
Put it in Slack.
Okay, I'll pull them up here, Jared.
Jared, let's keep this train rolling, Jared. Let's go.
What are they? Your own personal questions?
A couple of them.
All right.
I guess a couple of them are from Discord too, but that's the top 2.
Damian Harris or Darrell Williams?
Darrell Williams.
Give me Damian Harris if he's out there. Yeah. Oh, God.
Like that was a hard one.
Got
for
who
me.
again?
The Pats have the Cowboys, and then Chiefs have. Yeah, God. You know what?
Tough.
Give me Darrell Williams.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, I got some hard sit-start decisions. So
Henry Ruggs or Khalil Herbert?
Henry Ruggs.
Yeah.
yeah,
We talked about Henry Ruggs, that deep
next
play
too.
ability.
This is a good one. Tyler Higbee or Dalton Schultz?
Dalton Schultz.
I have to say Dalton Schultz.
Yeah,
because
Dalton
I love
Schultz
Tyler
for me.
Higbee.
That's who I had in there.
Allen Robinson, Javonte Williams, or Rondell Moore?
Allen Robinson.
You're such a troll. That's not
even a troll. That's a legit question. It sucks that that's the question though.
Full
Who is the
PPR,
second?
right?
Who is the second guy? Jared?
Javonte Williams.
Full PPR, right?
I believe that one's half PPR.
Shit.
Make it a little harder on you there.
I mean,
In what world did you think he'd be asking who you start, Javonte Williams or Allen Robinson in fantasy this week?
I mean,
6 weeks
in
into
that
the
same
season.
league, I just dropped Brandon Ayuk for Kadarius Toney. I didn't think I'd ever be doing that.
Yeah.
God, half PPR?
I'm starting Allen Robinson. I don't give a shit. I'm riding this train. I don't give a
Yeah,
hell.
I'll probably go. I would go Robinson as well. It's close though because Javonte half PPR Raiders. I think he's establishing himself. So That's
I
a
threw
good
in
question.
Rondell Moore for Avery.
Yeah, that was.
I didn't even ask. There's a reason that Javonte Williams or
Rondell Moore, good game last week though.
Yeah, he did. I'm sure the snap share is really high. I'm not even gonna go look at it because I'm sure
Gotta be super
it's
high.
skyrocketed. It's 80%. If you guys enjoyed the video, like I said, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, answer any start sit questions. Jared loves that job in the morning.
Yep, great job.
He loves doing that. And then check out our partners over at Manscaped, Lawnmower 4.0, promo code BOX, 20% off.
Flashlight on the
Free
trimmer.
shipping. Yeah. Oh, we're
I mean,
navigating.
No one
really
else
well.
does that. You got to check it out.
Bad
All
lighting
time.
in my shower at home.
Yeah.
So I think helps out well. And then last thing as I get through all my plugs, the Owner's Box Week 6 Superflex salary cap game is live. Go check it out. Superflex, like I mentioned, no kickers, no defense. Ton of fun there. $10 for entry with promo code DREW9. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.